So you recently did a massive rebranding from Spigot to Eightpoint. Could you share what drove this change and what inspired it and yeah, what it means for your company moving forward?
Sure. Yeah. So previously we operated all of our divisions separately. So we had our mobile division, we had our desktop division, and then we had what we call our digital media team. The concept moving forward is really one team, one goal. We find that a high tide raises all ships. And so when mobile sees successes, we want to make sure that we can see those on desktop as well. So really just trying to unify the company as a whole in all of our products under one umbrella. Not only have we seen, in the last month since we've launched the rebrand, a lot of reach out from partners, really recognizing who we are now. It really just simplified a lot of the logistics around which team am I working with, which product is here. So now we're just one unified team of 8Point. So it really simplifies things internally, externally, and the goal is really just to move forward with one team, one goal.
It sounds really productive. And speaking of productivity, Wave is a browser that is designed for productivity. And in your view, how can browsers be designed to drive the productivity needs of today's users? So what are some key features and functionalities that are essential for a truly productive browsing experience? Or what would be an unproductive browsing experience?
Definitely. Yeah. From our perspective, we like to look at it really, from the consumer side of things. And something to note is obviously when you're opening your browser, there's a lot of intent to find something. Our goal to make things as productive as possible is to make sure that that new tab page is set up when they launch their browser for ease of access. They can easily access their favorite stores. They can easily access social media. They can easily access the things that they're doing every day, whether that's reading the news, whether that's searching for a product or an answer to a question. So really our goal in terms of productivity is recognizing what are users using the browser for and how can we make that access, very easy for them as soon as they launch the browser.
And I guess that users' expectations on this are also changing over time. And can you tell us some insights or trends in your users' browsing habits that have caught your eye?
Definitely.
Or have you seen any notable changes?
Yes. There hasn't really been too much of a notable change in terms of user behavior. And I'd say the last 2 to 3 years that we've recognized. Our user base is pretty consistent in the activities and functions that they're looking to do when they open the browser. We've seen a lot of success with shopping and really recognizing that users shop during certain points of the season. There's a lot of seasonality with the way that people are using the browser, for tax season or for holiday season. So really just recognizing, when something could be more prevalent and when it couldn't be. So identifying for the users, if it's Father's Day, there might be an opportunity to, push something to them that they potentially could go and searching for. So really just recognizing that.
So basically understanding the user and working towards that. And over the past couple of years, VEVE and Wave had a really good marriage with brands like Walmart, Macy's, Expedia, and others whom we together helped to reach their audiences effectively. From your perspective, what have been the key factors in driving success in our collaboration, or what makes a good marriage?
Definitely. Our relationship has probably been one of my favorites in terms of the partners that we work with. Very, very transparent conversations. We discuss, trends that we're seeing. We talk about, right now we run Walmart and Expedia. We recognize that these are amazing brands, but we also have conversations around, do you have access to this offer? Do you have access to that? especially after we identify that it's something our users are looking for. So I really just think the open lines of communication between our teams. Also, how much are we willing to explore and test new opportunities? I think our team has had a lot of pivots to really recognize that, some of the tools that VEVE is bringing to market really provide a positive user experience. And so testing some of these things out, determining how it affects the user experience has been really beneficial. And I think just having those open lines of communication on performance, on successes that we're seeing has been really, really helpful to continue to drive growth. And I really think that this year is going to be 5 to 10x what we've done in the past. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, user experience and transparency are really big for us. Looking ahead to 2025, speaking of 2025 and this year, so what parts of your roadmap have sparked the most debates internally? And what does that say about your priorities for the future in general, and what can we expect from Eightpoint going forward?
Definitely, yeah. The debate is always healthy. I think there's always a fine line of, how much monetization you want to add into the browsing experience. Coming from my role, strategic partnerships, I'm always eager to test out anything that could provide, additional monetization. However, we also have the product side where there's a lot of protection around this is the product, we've built it this particular way to respond in a particular way. So a lot of the conversation is really around, healthy debates of how far can we push the needle, but also make sure that the user experience is providing value. And it's something that our users, from some of the trends that we're seeing with their behaviors, are asking for. So overall, I would say a lot of it is between product, monetization, partnership side of things, but very healthy in terms of finding, that middle ground of, are we providing value for our users in whatever it is that we're presenting to them?
Kayla, we're really excited to see these things unfolding. Thank you a lot for doing this with us.
Definitely. Sure.